Pledged action to realize the promises of the revolution: dignity, employment, health, and regional equality. Led by the Prime Minister, I believe that Tunisia's new government is prepared to take the difficult steps needed to fulfill that promise. I want to thank our host today, former U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, who is chair of Partners for a New Beginning, their Tunisian affiliate, PNB NAPEO, and the Tunisian American Chamber of Commerce. I also want to thank the many businesses, civil society, and government leaders from Tunisia, the Middle East, North Africa, the United States, and from around the world for coming together for this Investment and Entrepreneurship Conference. Tunisia is the ideal host for this conference, which aims to explore the economic potential of North Africa. 4 years ago, a new era began with the protests here in Tunisia, launching a revolution and capturing the attention of the world. In America, we all know the story of Mohamed Bouazizi, a young Tunisian vendor who was frustrated by the lack of opportunity for business owners, workers, and entrepreneurs, held back by a tradition of rampant corruption, and treated with contempt by political leaders more interested in enriching themselves than in serving their people. His single act of desperation became the first chapter in a story of self-determination. Thousands of people took to the streets, fed up with the tyranny of a government that denied its own citizens basic dignity, respect, and economic opportunity. This reminds me of the humble beginnings of the United States, when a small band of patriots inspired a people to take hold of their own destiny and to rise up against the forces of tyranny. Our founders signed their names to the Declaration of Independence that asserted certain unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those rights reflect a demand for both fair political representation and economic liberty. 4 years ago, the people of Tunisia called for and ultimately secured these same rights. Today, we cannot forget that the roots of your extraordinary political upheaval were about economic freedom. Indeed, Mohamed Bouazizi's demands were simple: the chance to earn a good living, the opportunity to start a business, the need to put food on the table and support a family. These aspirations are not unique to Tunisia. They echo across the nations, ethnicities, religions, and generations, which is why in 2011, the entire world watched with awe at the courage of Tunisia's people to speak out. Last year, the world was watching once more as Tunisians came together to usher in a new democratic government. Now, the world is still watching to see what you do next to turn your political victory into an economic triumph. Since the days of the revolution, Tunisia has undergone a historic transition from dictatorship to democracy. Your leaders have ratified a progressive constitution, your people voted in free and fair elections, You inaugurated your first democratically elected president. Your legislators formed a government based on consensus. This political progress has been rapid and remarkable, inspiring and necessary. A stable, functioning democracy is a fundamental backbone for a strong and healthy economy and society. However, this political shift is not enough. The next step, economic reform, is essential if the revolution is to fulfill the ambitions of the Tunisian people. Like the political process, the road ahead will be challenging. But you are fortunate. Tunisia possesses enormous assets that make a brighter future possible. Your broad, inclusive coalition government bespeaks Tunisia's political stability. Your location, culture, and language place Tunisia as a vital link between Europe and Africa. Your country's natural beauty makes Tunisia a magnet for a blossoming and revitalized tourism industry. And your well-educated and youthful population is a reservoir of talent. There is not a moment to waste to build on these assets. Nearly half of Tunisians are under the age of 24. Tunisians between the ages of 15 and 30 comprise 1/3 of your labor force, but 3/4 of your unemployed. The urgency of this challenge cannot be overstated. We know from experience that economic stagnation and hopelessness can sow the seeds of radicalization, and that economic prosperity can form the roots of modernization and progress. My agency, the Department of Commerce, is launching a public-private partnership called the Regional Investments to Support Entrepreneurship, RISE. This new platform is a partnership between the Department of Commerce and Microsoft, Hewlett-Packard, Cisco, Pfizer, Medtronic, and our conference host, Partners for a New Beginning, to promote trade and investment between our countries, increase market access, and improve commercial rule of law.